we doing what we need to do to get there?
You just don't know where to go. World is going, you just distract. I got you.
There's teenagers.
That's one point I wanna mention too. You gotta pick.
He was basically preaching to him. He said, y'all out here on
You don't have to be a movie star to be a millionaire. Like people on social media, you don't even know how they got their money.
Where do kids today get the idea that they have to have all of this money?
Well, just
sounds so illegal.
But stop leeching. And are they wrong?
Yes.
Why? Do we make money or do we take money? Welcome to the first episode of the MoreAction podcast. We got hopes and dreams and things that we want to get done, but are we doing what we need to do to get there? My name's Brandon.
I'm Mom.
What I want to talk about first is finances, Okay. How many people today are in their teens making millions of dollars? Really think about when you was in your teens, how many people were millionaires, like
My age. None. At least I didn't know them. Or they were movie stars.
movie
Child
stars
actors,
or like,
yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah, they'd be famous. I don't think there was any, nobody was rich. That's
How
true.
many people today are millionaires off of like daily habit? What?
Okay, so it was this guy. I think he's homeless. somebody had gave him some food or something. So, he was talking to them and he got to talking about, he was basically preaching to them. He said, y'all out here on these cell phones and all these electronics and you just don't know where to go. World is going and you just distracted. He was out there preaching. I mean, that man, all of the views that he got off of somebody else's, he could be rich, but I'm sure he ain't gonna get that money. The person that recorded him is gonna get all the money.
Just keeping the whole topic on finances. How hard, easy, would you say it is to get the funding you need to start a business, start a podcast? Maybe you want to start a whole film company. Getting funding, how would you say?
How difficult it is?
Yeah.
Very difficult. That's just what I imagine. It's gotta be difficult. Because first you gotta look at, do I have good credit? How is my credit worthiness? If I go into a bank, are they gonna give me any money? And a lot of times we're in situations where they're not gonna give us any money. Where else do we go other than the bank?
When you think about it though, a lot of people doing that. GoFundMe, OnlyFans.
That really work.
I don't know. For some people, they're getting money by just going online and like reaching out, having the right connections,
I guess you gotta be willing to ask.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
I've never done a GoFundMe.
But
you gotta be willing to ask, I guess.
yeah, some people are giving away good information. This guy I listened to, Graham, on YouTube said he started one and was charging $100 a month to teach finance.
What are you gonna teach them?
Like what you just said, things about credit, how to manage your money. He's my age and he's a millionaire, so he's got like a lot of different tips and things on how to manage your money. Like there's a lot of ways to make money. So I'm wondering, how you saw getting money today compared to how it was.
Yeah, okay, so back in the day, my idea of getting money, it was get a job, at McDonald's or one of these places, and you put in a lot of hard work, but you don't make that much money. But that was the only way to get the money you needed to do whatever it is you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. Really what I see going on now is a lot of people working, but then they get tired of it a lot faster. Every time I do work with people my age, they end up quitting before I do. But then they want a bunch of money to start something. So then it goes to credit. Oh, well, how's your credit?
So where do they get the idea? Where do kids today get the idea that they have to have all of this money in order to be anything?
Social media.
That's a good answer.
Okay, so take it back, right? You said when you was in the teens, the people who were millionaires were movie stars. Now, you don't have to be a movie star to be a millionaire. Like people on social media, you don't even know how they got their money. Just rich for no reason. They're rich for just consistency posting.
Okay, all of these people that's sitting out there playing these little games and stuff, and they're getting all of these views, and they're rich just from playing a game. Yeah. I mean, and Trenton's watching, these people playing the game, and they're getting all of these views, and these people are rich from sitting at home playing the game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And what do you think it takes to be successful? I won't say that being rich is successful. I would say that being able to get what you need when you need it, what you want when you want it. That's successful. I mean, obviously it takes money, but you don't have to, like, you know, because then if you say money is success, then you gotta, is $1 million successful or 10 million?
So I come from a different way of thinking where success comes from within. So if you're happy in the life that you're living, then you're successful. I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but I'm happy. You know, my kids are healthy, you all are doing good, so I'm successful. I don't need to have a lot of money. But you all see success as finances or materialistic things. I say you all, your generation. You know, you have to have some type of material value for success. But I mean, I'm happy. I have a toy pool. I'm successful.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going out sweeping the streets, as long as I'm happy and I'm doing it well, I'm successful.
To be successful, you just got to be happy doing what you're doing. What do you think it takes to be society's version of success? Riches and wealth and all of that.
Well, I would say hard work. Depending on what, well, that's just one of the things, because you have to work hard. Whatever it is you decide to do to make that money, you have to work hard at it. It's not going to just come to you.
When you look around and you see people with money today, because, you know, it was movie stars then.
Right.
Now, if I was like, who do you see with millions of dollars nowadays, you know, whatever age? You have like a top three, or does that change your answer?
These answers may change, but the first thing that comes to my mind is the ones behind the camera. So producers, writers, that type of thing, they make a lot of money, I believe. And crypto.
Yeah.
I mean, people are investing in crypto, is Bitcoin and all that other stuff, stocks, those type of things. And I think it still goes with the movie stars, the ones on the other side of the camera, the ones that we see.
Just make me think about social media again. Think about all the people who's got a camera in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's like the money right now is going towards famous social media influencers. That's the word we've been searching for. And then,
I know some influencers who ain't making too much.
Yeah, if you're rich up here, you'll be rich here in no time. You know, you can see it in your mind.
How long do you wait? Okay, let's say like the influencers. So you want to be an influencer and you doing all this stuff and you got your camera and you putting yourself out there and you got 1 million likes. How long do you wait, like, for the money to start rolling in before you go get a real job?
What? But see, that's the thing. What do you define as a real job?
Something that's gonna make you money.
Okay.
If you just sitting there influencing and you ain't making no money, that's not a real job.
Yeah, the opportunity's there,
How
right?
long do you wait?
It's the same as saying, how long do you wait before they give you a raise?
Rent's due every month.
That's true, but I'm talking about all ages. Say somebody who's still living at home don't got no rent to pay.
Mom, how long do you let them stay?
In my personal opinion. See, because I used to not pay rent, and now I do pay rent.
Yeah.
So I'm like thinking, give it a solid like 6 months.
Let's do this.
Give it a solid 6
Let's
months.
do this.
Do
Let's
both.
say
Do 2 things at once.
2 months. Okay, so you just said 2 months.
No. I said 6 months.
I'm sorry. 6
I
months.
said do 2 things at once.
Right.
See, like
My
right
listeners
now, for example, right, I got a job. You know, you don't have to not have a job to try what you're trying, you know?
So what you're saying is you're really not waiting because you're doing 2 things at once. So I'm saying somebody who is an influencer, they're, you know, got the camera, they're doing their thing, they're not making any money. How long do you wait before you go and get a real job? You said do 2 things at once.
I did
so
say
you
that.
keep your job.
Okay, well, what I'm saying to that person, stop leeching. And make sure you got your savings up. You know what I'm saying?
Before you start.
6 to 8 months of savings before you do that. But if you do that, like, I would give it 6 months.
I think that's good advice.
I don't know. How long do you work at a job before you know you should quit?
Okay. 30 years? No.
That's funny. That's what I'm talking about. Think about what you just said. It's the same as that influencer who's like, you know what? Nah, I'm getting my camera. I'm starting this shit. What if they don't quit for 3 years? Are they wrong?
Yes.
You know? Why? They're pursuing what could be.
Okay, you just said, get your camera. What did you get it with? You ain't got no money. You're an influencer. You're not making any money.
Yeah.
Now, let's say me, for instance, we'll just use me as an example. I'm on a job for 20 years. Yeah, I want to go do something else, but that job is bringing in money that's paying my mortgage. So it's not like I'm being an influencer going to buy a camera with money I don't have. Where'd I get that money from?
So yeah, if somebody's feeding your dream, but your dream ain't feeding you,
Ooh,
give it about 6 months. Give it about 6 months.
what? Now say that again.
If somebody's feeding your dream, but your dream ain't feeding you,
Come on.
for about 6 months, give it a try, and then go get a job and keep trying to do both at the same time.
You better preach on that thing.
That's what I'm saying. Young people out there, social media got y'all confused.
Yes.
You think that you got what it takes to be the next Logan Paul, but I'm telling you right now, that's an influencer.
Sorry, Logan.
He's just an influencer.
Oh,
No
okay.
big deal. You know.
Sorry.
But for real, man, y'all trying to be the next Logan Paul. Buying all the equipment with money you don't got. And then you trying at it for 2 years. You ain't making no money.
You got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And if being an influencer allows you to stand on your own 2 feet, then fine. But if you influencing and ain't getting no money for it, you might want to rethink that thing.
The people always went home, had a hobby, you know, just put it on camera. You know, if you ain't recorded, they don't believe you.
Yeah.
That's the motto. If you could pick, you know, a hobby that you could turn into, you know, profit, what would be a hobby?
Oh my God, I have
You
so
know.
many.
That's what I'm saying. You got to narrow it down. That's one point I wanna mention too. You got to pick one thing. You got to be consistent. You got to choose one thing.
Okay.
So this is just a little game we're playing, mental games you got to play. If you could only pick one that you consistently had to work on 2 years and you wasn't gonna make any money,
You ain't gonna make no money.
but it's
But
a
it's a
hobby,
hobby.
so it don't matter. You could go get a job and still do this when you get home. It's 2 years though.
I was thinking about painting. I also thought about like the Airbnb, having some, you know, other rental properties, but that's not a hobby. Like gardening, there we go. Is that?
I think that's a hobby. I mean, because Airbnb could be a hobby too, you know, depending on how, you know, into numbers you are, I guess. It's like how you know.
But you can't go home and do that. You know, you gotta have some money to do that.
To do Airbnb.
So it's not like I can just come home after a hard day's work and play Miss Airbnb.
Yeah.
So gardening.
Okay, that's fine.
I
What
think
makes a
gardening.
hobby a perspective, really? If I was rich, Airbnb could be a hobby for me because it was so easy to do. Imagine a millionaire's watching this video. Your hobby could be Airbnb, and you know, just don't feel like that's not a hobby now because we said it.
From what I hear, it's a lot of people out there doing this and they're not rich, or that's maybe how they became rich or became wealthy.
Don't dig yourself into a hole. Do hobbies within your means.
And you know, I would think with a hobby, I think about a lot of things that seem like they would be a fun hobby, but I know in my heart I'm not good at it.
How do you know if you did you try it? Like how much do you need to love a hobby to take a risk on it? Because like we just said, a hobby is only a hobby because of your perspective. So say I see Airbnb as a hobby, but because I don't got the money, I didn't even try it. So I'm like, I probably ain't good. But I didn't try it. I didn't go get a credit card. We're gonna be talking about credit. Tune in for that. But if I, you know, don't have the money, but I want to learn how to get it, all this other stuff, how much do you need to love a hobby to take a risk on it?
I got a hobby. Making money.
That's
What? Okay, that can't be a hobby. I want to make money.
how did you make the money?
Well, various ways, but the
Illegal.
hobby was making money. It don't have to be illegal.
Well, I'm saying to you,
I
like,
mean, I don't know
I
anything
feel
about
like if
illegal
your
activity.
hobby is making money, imagine if all ways to make money disappeared. Then what are you gonna do?
Okay, so look, this is what I'm saying. My hobby is making money, but I went about my hobby a couple of different ways. These were all forms of making money. My true hobby was making the money.
Hey, okay, catch what you're saying. Do we make money or do we take money?
We take it.
Whenever you get money, where was it before you got it?
It was somewhere.
It
I
was
didn't
a-
make it.
It was in somebody else's pocket. When the last time you made $1? Think about that now.
That's
You
true.
take money.
Unless you work for the government and you printing that money, you're not making money.
Yeah.
So taking money. Okay. That's my hobby.
I just
Sounds so illegal.
but it's what we're doing. When a boss gives you your check, you take it from them. So that's how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Just to recap, you don't be out here letting social media fool you. You know, it might not be easy.
Before you become an influencer, influence yourself. Look in the mirror, influence that person. Then, if you really influence them, then you can influence the rest of them.
You gotta believe in yourself
It's true.
before others believe in you. Take some more action today.
Peace.